Hey there, YouTubers. I'm going to make a video today that's a little bit different than what I normally do. First, I'm going to do a little bit of my opinion first, but I'm really here to try to get your opinion on something. So I'm hoping for some input. It's not really for me, it's for some friends that are in the process of either upgrading a Class B or getting into the Class B. And we know our camper van, whether you're getting one that's already made or converting one yourself, which platform to use. So in the States, you got basically three options: the Mercedes, the ProMaster by Dodge, or the Ford Transit. I'm going to say at the beginning, which is going to make some people upset, the Mercedes isn't even on the list. Okay, I have one friend that said, if I was broke down in the middle of a blizzard and the first vehicle to come help me was a Mercedes, I would say, I'll wait for the next one, no thanks. They're the most expensive. So I think the problem with Mercedes is they're over-engineered. They got really smart people, and they try to make things more complicated than they need to be. A lot of people that have Mercedes, even when they have a good experience, they go to the shop a lot. And when you go to a Mercedes shop, it's really expensive. Parts are really expensive, and waiting for parts is... So I don't think a Mercedes is on the list. Now, if you have a Mercedes and you love it and you still want to leave a comment, cool. But that's not really on the list, mainly because price-wise and just the problems with that Mercedes are known to have when they have problems. When they're good, they're good. When they're not, they're not. So now we're going to move to the real two options, the ProMaster and the Transit. And what I'm going to do now is give a little bit of what I know. I haven't done a ton of research because I have a 99 Leisure Travel on a Dodge, and I would tell somebody to get what I have because I've been lucky and had a lot of good experience with it. So brand loyalty for a lot of people is a big deal. But my Dodge isn't what the Dodges are now. This is the old body style. I got a 5.9 liter V8 in it, and my engine is fantastic. Transmission, it's a Dodge, so that's going to come up in what I'm talking about. But a lot of people don't want to get something this old, and a lot of people that have something this old are starting to think about, okay, maybe it's time to upgrade. And the most insane time ever to buy a Class B, just everybody seems to want one. And it's really irritating. So, the ProMaster. They call it a Dodge, but it's really a Fiat Chrysler kind of thing. It's a van that they brought over from Europe, and they're badging it as a Dodge. The benefit you have is the Dodge network of garages and stuff like that, which is a good thing. Much better. That's where Mercedes is at the bottom of the list. If the Ford or the Dodge, if you have a problem, there are places you can go to take it. The benefit I know of the Dodge is that they're the widest ones. You can put a bed east to west, side to side. And in the Transit, you kind of are limited, if you're tall at all, to go kind of a north-south on your bed, which for a lot of people is a pain. The Dodge has the same problem. It seems like if you put a Dodge badge on something, you're going to have transmission problems. I've heard a lot of horror stories, even with the new ProMasters, of problems with transmission. If you've had the same or similar or different experiences, please leave a comment. It's got a V6 engine, and of all of those, it's said to have the least power, and power can matter. So then you start thinking low, medium, or high tops. On the Dodge, I know it's 5'4" on the inside for the low. The high is 6'2", which is pretty good. Also, they're the boxiest, so if you're doing a conversion, everything I've seen is that they're the easiest to build out on your own because they're a little bit more square, a little boxier, not as much curves to them. I've heard some people really like it and some people hate the cockpit, the viewing experience, that you sit really high and that the wheels kind of like a bus, the way it's leaned, and you drive it a little different. So there's some people that don't like that. Again, your comments are highly appreciated. It does have a lower center of gravity. It is front wheel drive, so you don't have a drivetrain running through the back end, so you don't need as much or you don't get as much ground clearance, whichever way you look at it. Front wheel drive is the only option. You can't get all wheel drive in the Transit. It is the cheapest of all the three that we mentioned, even though one of them's off the list. It is the cheapest. That's a good thing. And it has 3 different lengths you can choose from. Again, I could go with all the specs and stuff like that, but that's not what this video is about. This is trying to get the Class B world out there that might look at this video to help some friends of mine. No dually, which is good and bad. Dually makes it a little bit more stable when you're driving, but that also does cut into your inside and makes building it out, you lose a little bit of space. So transmission problems, downside, some people don't love the view, the driving experience when you're driving it, and a little underpowered are the cons that I know about. And the plus is it's more square to build out, and the price is the cheapest. And of all these, price is insane. Even if you're buying a brand new empty van, cargo van, and you're going to change it out, they're ungodly expensive. And then the point that matters to a lot of people that don't have a lot of money to just go drop 45,000 on an empty van is, okay, if I'm going to buy something that's used, a lot of times it was used as a work vehicle, which is the most dependable. So stories of yours being either dependable or not dependable will be helpful to my friends and hopefully other people on the internet. Now we'll get to the Transit. The Transit, again, you usually, I'm 5'10", and from everything I hear, I'd have a hard time sleeping east to west. I'd have to do a north-south base. And for a lot of people, that's an issue. I know that it has the 3 different heights. The low is like 4'8". The medium is 5'11", which for a good amount of people the medium might be good enough. And then the high is an ungodly like 6'8" inside. It's like super tall, which is good and maybe bad because it makes the vehicle much taller. Has a higher center of gravity. So you could tip one over, but you can get it in all-wheel drive. The engine, I think they offer a turbo diesel, but again, don't quote me. I'm asking your guys' opinion. But it also has a V6. And I've heard that the EcoBoost engine is a very good engine. Again, experiences of what you've had. And it is rear-wheel drive with the ability, in some cases, to have all-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive can be a little bit better. Rain, ice, snow. Rear-wheel drive, like this old 99, I don't like taking this out on snow and ice whatsoever. But in the Transit's ability to have dualies, that would probably help a little bit. I've heard that the Transit drives the most car-like. The ProMaster is a little bit more of a truck/minivan kind of feel when you're driving it. And right now, I know that the ProMaster, if you're going to buy a built RV now, the ProMaster was the most commonly used because, again, Sprinter's not on the list. And as of now, I think Coachman and maybe now American Coach are the only ones building on the Transit line. So if you're getting a Transit, you have less floor plans to choose from, but you can build out whatever one you got. So I went on longer than I wanted to, but I'm really, really, really hoping some people with some first-hand experience. I've never even driven either of these 2 vans. So my advice is always, what do you want to do with it? How are you going to do it for your life? And then find the one that fits you. And I'm at a loss because hopefully my 99 leisure travel on the Dodge Ram 3500 van will last forever. Yeah, but a lot of people, you get 20, 22-year-old vehicle, you start getting a little nervous, and people are wanting to upgrade or change or jump into the market. So this is a place for hopefully some cool people to give advice. And fingers crossed we can help my friends out and maybe some other people. So have a great and wonderful day.